welcome to the very first episode of Your Netball Besties. I'm Alexa, your netball bestie from TikTok. Welcome. Today, we're just going to do a really easy intro episode because Jenna and I have just been having the most amazing weekend at Team Girls Cup, and we want to tell you all about it.
Jenna, I'm in an Aries from Perth.
I walks on the beach.
Yeah. Bro. I can't do it.
Let's talk about Team Girls Cup. We have just watched the grand final of the Team Girls Cup. It's Sunday today, and I really want to break down everything that we particularly loved to see, the highlights, who stood out for us, and perhaps a little bit of a prediction of what we have to see for the SSN season ahead. You can find us here every single Monday analysing all of the previous SSN games of that weekend. So don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. I really want to introduce you guys to my amazing co-host, Jenna, who is such an incredible netball brain, and just get her opinion on what she loved the most about this whole Team Girls weekend.
What I loved the most this weekend was finally getting a chance to have a look at all the teams I know for me and you have been really waiting to see, especially with a lot of notable changes on the off-season.
So who was your biggest standout for the whole weekend?
My biggest standout this weekend, I think, would have to be Olivia Wilkinson. Being a Fever girl at heart, I really think that in the absence of Fowler, she's really stood up and shown that she wants that starting GS bib.
I think for me, my highlight for the whole weekend is, as much as I want to say it was about the play on the court, let's be real, it was interviewing Liz Watson. I mean, all of the interviews were. The fact that we even got to be here and meet them and interview them. The interviews will be played at the end of this episode, by the way, guys, so don't go anywhere. If you want to see the interviews with all of those players, definitely keep watching. If you want to see me make an absolute dick of myself, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I teared up at the end of it. I was so embarrassed. I was trying so hard to be professional. This is my Everest. I'm going to do a really good job. And then as soon as she came close to me, I crumbled. So yeah, Liz, if you're watching, not my best first impression.
Yeah. It really wasn't that bad. She did fine, but we all have our strengths.
Breathe. We all have an Achilles heel. I feel like I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty good at switching it on and controlling my nerves. Day one, interviewing Shamera Sterling. When I wasn't expecting it, I was expecting someone else, and then Shamera was there, and I was like, oh my God, it's Shamera. With Kate Moloney and all the girls I talked to on day two, it was a lot more chill. I feel like I've got this. And then, of course, Queen Liz comes next to me, and I crumble before your eyes. And I'm still going to put that content out on the internet.
Live and we learn and we get better, and we'll see you again, Liz.
I need a redo for sure. Let's talk about who won. You guys probably know there is a little bit of a rumour of the Team Girls Cup curse. We actually had our reigning premiers win the Team Girls Cup, the Thunderbirds, and it was such a tight, exciting game. Jenny here is hardcore Fever. I'm, of course, a Fever girl as well. We live in Perth. How did you feel?
I mean, it was a really good game to watch. It was really nice seeing Fever demonstrate a lot of depth, show that they have a lot more options, They're not just a quote-unquote one-trick pony like some people like to think that they are. Fever really had the lead there for a while. They were looking strong. They were looking consistent. I am one of those people that are a believer in the Team Girls curse. So I'm not mad. But of course, a huge congratulations to Thunderbirds for that win. It was definitely well-deserved. It was a hard fight right into the end. Georgie Horjus, incredible. Lucy Austin, amazing. Those intercepts by Petty, she came out of nowhere. Petty's honestly had such an incredible weekend. You just saw her over the barrier and into the stands at one point. That girl puts her heart and her body into it. Lucy Austin's playing really well. She's looking so much more stronger. I can't help but think, her time in the Diamonds camp is really helping with her confidence.
No pressure to the girls, but we were in the box next to the Diamonds team watching Stacey and Marinkovic look on to all the girls. Now we're going to cut to the interviews that we got to do with the incredible SSN players. We had such an amazing time. We are so incredibly grateful for this entire experience. We really hope to be able to come back next year maybe. But without further ado, let's just play the interviews. Disappointing to find out about your injury today. Can you tell us anything about that?
It's just a little minor calf strain. Nothing too big to worry about. Definitely will be there for the season.
Thank God. Yes, we want to see you back for the whole season.
Me too.
I was so worried actually when I saw that post. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get to talk to her today. I wasn't sure if you'd even be here. It's okay. I'm not Fox. This is super chill.
Yeah.
Low standards. How do you like to unwind when you're not playing netball?
This is a good one. I don't do anything, actually. That is probably the best thing. At the moment, my housemates and I, we've got this like Mario Kart game on Nintendo Switch, so we love just like sitting out on the couch, doing nothing, having non-verbal time, which is what we love. It's
a complete veg. Is it rot? Is that what the cool kids say now?
Get your stain right there in the couch. Don't move for a good couple of hours.
God, I sound so old, don't I? I'm like, what do the cool kids say these days?
I am not cool.
I know that obviously isn't going to happen today, but I'm very excited to see you go up against Verity Simmons. Who in particular are you most looking forward to going against?
Everyone that I play against, see them from across the warm-up stage. I just get so excited because everyone's so athletic and so fun to play against. But my favourite one is got to be Jamie Lee Price. She is like a weapon. How athletic and strong she is, and she's so smart with the ball as well.
Obviously, you've been, getting to know Liz and working with her a lot on the court. What would you say has been something that you've learnt from Liz?
I would like to say that I've got some of her smarts from even just playing with a year with her. But no, she's such like a smart, dominant player, and her work ethic on and off the court is just something to admire. I try to be the same as her, but definitely don't come close to it because she's just an amazing netballer and an amazing woman.
We are very excited to see how much you've grown, and this whole year ahead of you. We're really excited. You must have lost your shit when she signed with Lightning.
Oh my goodness, I was amazed, and then just to have her name next to mine is just so amazing.
I can absolutely imagine the fangirling, absolutely.
I just have to compose myself a little bit because it's a bit embarrassing,
Babe, I'm interviewing her. I'm worried about the same thing. I'm going to fangirl so bad. Okay. Thank you so much for talking with me and for being my first interview. So after leading the Thunderbirds to their first premiership in a decade and then back-to-back wins and earning SSN Player of the Year in 2023, how do you plan to build on this momentum in the coming season?
We know that SSN is not easy, and it's not very easy to win a premiership, and every team in this competition is a bit competitive. So we'll see how we go as we take it step by step for preseason and leading up to games. Getting that award for Player of the Year was something that I've always wanted, and I'm glad that I've achieved it. So I've ticked that off on my wish list. Yeah.
What else is on the list now?
What else is on the list is probably more international bit, but I'd love to win one more here with the Thunderbirds, or many more, but a keen one for me is probably winning a Commonwealth Games or a World Cup.
Honestly, to be honest, it's probably not far in your future. You guys are doing so amazing. Your journey from Jamaica to becoming a pivotal player in the SSN is absolutely inspiring. How has your cultural background influenced your playing style in the game?
I think as a Jamaican, they always say we play with a lot of flair, and it's a Caribbean thing most of all. But I feel like coming here and being exposed to all the necessities that we need to perform. I feel like when I was back in Jamaica, there wasn't enough things that we needed for netball, and just coming here just helped me to tighten up on my skills, having what I need here and having great coaches here to help me do the job. So I think it's good coming into this environment and also bringing back what I've learned back to my Jamaican squad.
It's amazing that you feel supported here, and hopefully one day that support can grow back home as well.
Yeah.
You obviously have an incredible defensive game, but what is a skill that you personally felt like you had to grow and improve on throughout your career?
I don't know, I probably would want to say it, but I don't know if anybody realized that I like my right side of the court. I don't think many people notice that I don't like marking on the left side, so that's something I am working on and getting better at. And also something I had to grow was, I know in previous seasons I had a lot of deflections, and my goal was to turn those deflections into interception, and that kept on progressing during the year, so that's something I'm continuing to build on.
Well, so far so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking with me. Honestly, it's been an absolute highlight of my day. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you for taking the trip down.
Do you like the cold?
No, I do not like the cold unless it's snow. So Melbourne's cool, but we miss Perth.
No, I was in Melbourne for 10 years. Honestly, I don't know how I survived it. I had an electric blanket, everything. I'm literally just shivering. It was made for Perth weather, for sure. Sorry if I'm a little bit nervous. It's my first day doing this.
Oh my God, you're fine. Right, welcome.
What advice would you give to young netballers who want to reach your level?
Just to put yourself out there, like I think the best thing is like having the courage and the bravery to fail. Like I think so many girls, and it's so like inspiring that not every super netballer has the same journey or experience. It's not that you have to make a certain amount of teams to get that exposure, but what I think the best thing is just putting yourself out there in so many different teams. And I remember a coach saying to me, "Oh, you just hung around like a bad smell," but I just kept putting myself out there even if I didn't make the team. And I remember like you take those knocks and it's hard at the time, but yeah, you just get the courage to go back up and go again.
Do you feel like you learn something new, like with every club that you go to? And if so, like what do you think you've learnt new? What have you added to your game that we can expect to see this year?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like every club's been like a different part of my journey and like a needed change for what was happening in my life and like my identity at the time. So I feel like Mavs, I'm just learning like obviously from more of my experience of being injured, like that, you know, I love what I do and I'm so grateful. Like sometimes it can feel like you're, you know, a bit of a workhorse, you're working really hard, but I think for me not having the game for a whole year and having that taken away, I think for me it was just like every single moment is so special. Like I get given 9 best friends that I get to come to training with and get to have fun. Like we get to play the sport that we love. Like I think just finding my love for it again, and I feel like I have so much fun with these girls. Like it's probably a little bit too much fun, just lots of card games, lots of rummy cub, but like yeah, just the bonds that I think I've made here are exactly what I needed at this point in my career, and kind of those friends for life, and they got me through last year, which was amazing.
That's literally was going to be one of my questions, was how the girls, like, did they, you know, support you? How was your experience? Did it bring you closer together? Like, what's something perhaps that the girls did last year that really made you feel like you were still part of the team?
Like these girls are like my sisters. Like I moved to Melbourne last year without my partner, without my family. They originate here in South Australia. So I feel like for me it was a massive risk to take. Like I was so comfortable in Perth and really loved my life, but like I made those like instant friends, like instant family. Like they kind of filled the void of not having those people there at a time that I needed it most. And like what a way to bond with a little bit of trauma, with a injury. But I mean, they just like, they picked me up on my hardest days. They kept me going, but they also were like the shining light at the end of the tunnel. Like I don't think I would have had so much drive through this injury and this rehab that was grueling at times, like if it wasn't for them. Like just the excitement of being out there with them, I just like, I couldn't wait to be a part of it. So they've also been like the best supporters, but they've like kept challenging me. They've like, you know, really been kicking me at training. Like they've been, you know, like getting the best out of me, which is all I can ask for. So yeah, I'm hoping to develop my game with them and just have fun this year and get back out there on the court.
It brings me so much joy to hear, because I feel like that's one of the things that we forget about in netball, is that it's about the sisterhood, it's about the community and how people rally around each other. But tell me, now that you're back and stronger than ever, who are you most excited to come up against?
I think everyone gets a little bit excited for the rating premiers. I think like they just, especially for me being a shooter, like coming up against Shamera, Tilly and Laddie, like they set the standard for defence for the whole league. So I think, I mean, what a way to start. The Team Girls Cup and my first game back, coming up against them. But I think like everyone kind of wants to pick them at the post. It's just like a natural feeling of, you know, they're the hunted. So I guess like, and also knowing as well that they're the standard and they're the like kind of where we want to be like as a team, and like how we can expose them in attack. So I think, yeah, looking forward to playing them during the season, but then also probably Fever as well, and heading back to Perth and being with those girls too. I feel like I'm just doing a little friends tour. So
that'll be so nice to see you back home. I'm sure you'll get a very warm welcome at the stadium.
I hope so. I love it there.
Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Oh my gosh, no, such a pleasure. So lovely to meet you. Well done.
Congratulations, first of all, on your elevation to the squad.
Thank you.
So, as a fairly defender-heavy side, what do you think you're going to bring to kind of separate yourself from everyone else?
Coming in each week, training hard, working hard, and coming in with the mentality that it's not going to be easy to get that starting 7. So I think just knowing that each week is going to be tough and I have to step up to the level that I need to be out there. So I think just, yeah, working hard every week and not jumping ahead.
What's it like being with your sister?
So cool. I think it's something we've thought about for a very long time to hopefully do it one day. It's kind of just like hanging out with your sister at work. It's really fun, and I think we're very lucky to be able to, yeah, be out there with her in the same circle.
Are you competitive in regards to, like, I guess, who gets that starting bib of your favourite position?
You know what? Not really, no. I think I respect her so much. She's a diamond, so I think I kind of give her that respect that she is going to get that starting 7, but I will always challenge her and push her to hopefully put my foot in the door, but always she is a very great netballer. So
I feel like that's so amazing, like such a rare, even though we have seen quite a few sisters today, it is amazing because you have such a special dynamic and you can push yourselves and push each other in a really unique way. What do you think that you and your sister bring to Fever as a unit that perhaps we haven't really seen anywhere else?
I think it's just the way we play, the style of play we have. I think we're very similar in the way we play. We're off the body, we look for ball, and I think there's just so many similarities that when we're on together, we do it together.
Your family must be so proud.
Yes, very.
You had a tough injury. Tell me a little bit about how you stayed motivated through that.
Yeah, yes, very tough, a very long rehab, but I think what really got me to the finish line was just taking it day by day, month by month, because I feel like I had so many people around me that have been through this previously, and I think the thing that they just kept telling me is don't jump the gun, don't look too far ahead, because trying to look 12 months ahead is a very, very hard way to do it. One step at a time, you're going to be walking and then doing things in the gym and then running, so I think, just taking it steady, time.
It's like that whole theory of you don't think about the whole brick wall that you need to build, just lay that perfect brick one at a time.
It helps so much when you look at it that way.
There have been some notable changes in the Fever lineups, so tell me a little bit about how the culture has adapted to these changes.
I think the culture at Fever is already very, very good, and we're very lucky, but I think with myself coming into the 10 this year, I think last year as the 11th player, I was already in the dynamic of the team. Jay welcomed me so much as the 11th player, and the culture has been really good around welcoming me, and then also Kelsey moving into that training partner role.
Oh, that's amazing to hear, especially as Fever girls. Yes. Thank you so much for talking to us. Oh my gosh, go have a rest. I know it's boiling. I'm going to have to take this off. I'm dying. I can't imagine how hot you feel right now, but thank you so much for speaking to us, and I'll see you back in Perth.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for speaking with me, and welcome to the SSN. We are so excited to have you here. Tell me a little bit about what you were most looking forward to.
Everything, really. The whole experience is new, the environment is new, but I'm settling in well.
I know you have a son, so tell me a little bit about how you're finding the adjustment. I'll get that fan. Oh my gosh, babes, you poor thing. I was wearing a blazer. I gave up on the blazer. Tell me a little bit about how you're balancing an entire new environment, both as a pro athlete and a parent.
I'm just glad that I'm here with my family. Obviously, my partner Jack, they're back home having boys' time. We're enjoying the weather. We're enjoying lots of swims.
I saw you enjoying pool time the other day.
Yes, we gotta make the most of it.
So tell me, you've had a little bit of a taste so far in regards to playing against some of the top defensive duos here. Tell me a little bit about who you're most excited to come against in the SSN, and perhaps what you've got up your sleeve in dealing with that.
I'm just looking forward to everybody, because everybody is just equally as good. This is new for me, but also not being too into my head too much, just relax, enjoy it.
Have the girls made you feel nice and welcome?
They're just very patient and just welcoming me so bigly. Everyone is just willing to help in any way possible. It's just a good bunch of girls.
We are so excited to see what you have to bring for the whole season. And thank you so much for speaking with me.
So much. I'll give you a bit of a fun.
You've obviously been out of it for a little while, and now you're back. Thank goodness. Absolutely love seeing you back out there, even though you're in red. Tell me, how's the journey been? What's it like being back?
Yeah, I feel like I'm still finding my feet a little bit, and probably getting that fitness, that speed and explosivity back. I think having a year and a bit in footy, kind of the body changes and more bit of distance, getting the K's up, getting my vision back up, and connecting with the girls on a whole new side. But I'm loving it, and I think the break did me really good. I think I've just got that love back for Netty again. And I'm loving being at training every day and getting around the girls and being back on the court. It's just, I don't know, the passion's back there, I guess.
So nice to hear. We definitely want you guys to love what you're doing while we're all cheering you on. You're obviously playing with Grace, which has been a really exciting addition to SSN this season. Can you tell me a little bit more about perhaps what you've had to adjust or change?
Really fortunate that I've been with Janelle. So Jay and I have built a really good connection, but Grace is completely opposite. So I know the blind diet probably doesn't look any different, but yeah, Grace's kind of structures and how she sets up and where she wants the ball is really different to JJ. So I'm still kind of adjusting and finding my feet a little bit with that, but to have a target of someone with that ability and that athleticness, I guess, yeah, we're pretty fortunate.
We are so excited to see that connection grow. We talk about it all the time. How are you feeling about, obviously, going up against Fever? That's going to be an emotional journey, I can imagine. But who else in particular? Because obviously a lot of the teams are looking a bit different this year since when you last played.
I think Fever's obviously my number one. I'm excited to kind of go back home, be back in that crowd, and be on home turf with the girls, which would be really cool. But I actually really think that Firebirds are going to be just the team to beat, I think. I think they're still finding their feet a little bit, which is probably a little bit scary because they've got room to grow. But Mary seeing down there, they're kind of similar to us. They've got that ability to score really quick. Both have incredible defenders. I think it matches up really nicely. And just like the tussle that we had in a few games beforehand, a few weeks ago, they came out firing. So we kind of see that side of them and think, wow, like there's some magic there.
Really exciting to see. Like we were watching that game and it was closer than what we expected, and we were kind of proud of the underdogs there a little bit. Like, go purple. Really, really excited to have you back and watch you and progress and see you back to your best form.
I hope it's good form. I hope we'll find it.
We have absolute faith in you, Verity.
Pump my tyres, keep pumping them.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us. Must admit, this is a very personal life high for me, talking to you. Something that I actually talk to a lot about the young girls that follow me on social media, when they talk about their confidence and losing motivation, I actually tell them to call their inner Moloney. So you're definitely known as, such a powerful motivator and inspirational person, and obviously for your own team. How do you keep that motivation for yourself, even when, I guess, after games like today, doesn't necessarily work out how you hoped?
Yeah, that's too kind. I think for me, I love netball, and I think when you go back to when you're playing in juniors or all the way through, it's about having fun and going out there and enjoying yourself. And I think more than ever now, for me, it's about going out there and enjoying what I'm doing, and that's what gives me motivation. I want to go out and play for my teammates. I want to try and chase down a loose ball for the other girls on my team, and yeah, I love the club, and that's what motivates me every day.
What is something or some advice that you could give to some young girls to think about when they're in a really hard situation?
Going back to why you play, and for me it's those Saturday mornings with all of my best friends playing netball, spending way too much time at the canteen. But I think on top of that, it's just about never giving up. Everyone throughout their career goes through a tough time, but it's about finding out what you really like and how you can improve as a netballer, and just keep going back and trying to turn up and be better every day.
I have to say, I have personally really loved seeing you grow and your game grow, especially last year. Obviously, I'm one of your closer friends going to Lightning.
She's standing right there. Well, I've been heckling her from the side.
Oh, don't worry, she's next tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's been amazing to see how much you've grown, in the team and taking that real leadership role. What is something that you've really grown or learnt about the last year, and what you're going to take into this year?
I've been so lucky over my career at the Vixens to play along people like Lizzie and Joe and Emily Mannix, and I've touched on friendships, but it's a big part of why I play and what I do. And now I get the enjoyment of seeing a Hannah Mundy, Zara Walters out there playing, and for me now it's, I want to put my best foot forward and play really well, but I also want to help them play well, and I hope they get to have the career that Lizzie and I had playing with the Melbourne Vixens for the next 10 years.
I love that. It's all about that team spirit and, supporting each other and bringing, the next little newbies up to follow in your big, footprints. So I'm really excited to see everything that you bring to the season coming forward, as is everyone, I'm sure. Who are you most excited to really face off against this season?
That's a tough one, It's been so exciting to be here at Team Girls Cup and play against lots of opponents, and, you get to see so many new players out there that might not get to play as much throughout the season as well. So it's been really cool. It was great to play the Swifts and see Grace out there, a player that hasn't been in our league before, and then we played the Firebirds this morning and Mary, and, it's the world's best competition. We've got the world's best players, and it's so exciting to see new people coming and joining our league each year. So I think those two clubs will be really exciting just because of the new imports that they got.
100%. So excited. Those new signings. It just new blood into the whole season. You don't know what you're going to get anymore. It's not predictable. We love that. Is there any of the new bloods at the moment that you are really keeping your eye on at the moment on any of the teams?
You know what, I've been loving what Lily Graham's been doing with us this weekend. She's a player that got an opportunity last year, but she's getting better and better, so it's been really cool. I think, you know, we played against Giants a couple of weeks ago, and Hope White did some really great stuff, and then to play against Fever today, and Ruth Aryang's going to be a really exciting player for our Australian future as well. So there's so many. I probably missed heaps as well, but
there's a lot to pick from. There's a lot.
There's so much depth in Australian netball, and I think it's really exciting. So yeah, I can't wait to hopefully see them get some more court time as well.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Media box, we've got aircon. We've been getting fed. Oh, wow. Like, we have pizza delivery. We're getting spoiled AF. And we've got Stacey right next to us in the next box. Oh my goodness, yeah. I know, we were saying she was like baby brain accidentally walk into the other room and like, oh, what notes you got there, Stace? You're obviously known for your amazing physicality on the court. Everyone's always so impressed. You're pretty much unmovable. Obviously, there's a lot of rule changes going on, especially with international and SSN. Where do you think the line needs to be drawn between a fair contest and being penalised too harshly?
I think at the end of the day, like, that's up to the umpires and how they interpret it. But I guess as a player, like, if you're doing things repeatedly, I guess that's when it's up to you to adjust and ask questions to the umpires to see what you're doing and what you need to fix up. I think obviously as an athlete you go in and you give it your 100% when you're in that tussle, so sometimes it could come off, it can look really horrible, but it's obviously not intentional. So I guess that's a risk you take, and it's up to the umpire to make those decisions.
It's always hard when they say, when they call a contact intentional. Who's out there being intentionally like on the court, you know? Always feels a little bit harsh, but
it's hard. It's hard because I feel like we're so competitive and we're trying to get every ball for our teammates, and yeah, I guess when you're going 100 miles an hour, someone's always going to come off second best. So
it's never you.
Oh, never know.
The super shot, let's chat about it.
Yes.
I know I have a lot of personal feelings about the pros and cons about the super shot being, you know, brought into the game, and obviously now we know it's also going to be in England and in New Zealand. Yeah. So clearly it's got more fans than naysayers. But how do you feel about being a mid-quarter and the idea that perhaps you kind of almost lose control when it becomes all about the super shooters?
It's quite interesting really that the rest of the world has kind of adopted it. Obviously I love the traditional game. I think we have so many quality shooters that we're pretty good at it when we're on. I think as a mid-quarter, I guess you just got to adapt to it, and you got to play smartly, and I guess know your opposition and who are the 2-point shooters, and maybe target them or make them work a bit harder to get into that 2-point shot. So I think if anything it's harder for the defenders.
Definitely pros and cons. Like, I do love the fact that strategy has to change, and I do enjoy that, but then I do feel bad sometimes because it does feel like, I mean, me personally, is that sometimes the strongest team doesn't get the win, even though like the mid-quarters have done nothing wrong.
To be fair though, I feel like I guess last year I don't necessarily think a lot of teams really use the power shot. Like I think if you look at like the Thunderbirds last year, and I guess the Vixens, they probably heavily relied on the 1-point shot, and they were very good at that, and they were very, very strong on that. Whereas I guess when you're under the pump and you've got to catch up, you kind of have to play the 2-point.
Got to do what you have to do. All right, now the big question. Between you and Liz Watson, who would win in an arm wrestle?
Probably me. Love Lizzie. I think she's such a clever player. I can't think of the word, but she just knows how to use her body and knows how to get in front of you.
She's amazing at getting that front position because she's just re-offering right there. She gets in front. She's incredible.
She's just a workhorse, I think. She just doesn't stop.
But no, both of you are just like so impressive to watch. The physicality, just absolute tanks on the court, really. You won SSN Player of the Year last year, which was incredible. And diamonds, everything happened for you last year. So what goals do you have for this year?
I was super overwhelmed last year. I didn't expect the award at all. So very happy with my year. I think this year just like having new goals and working on weaknesses in my game, so I can just have like new tools in my toolkit. If something's got to shut down, I can use another tool. So that's sort of been my focus this pre-season.
Speaking of your game when you switch into G8, which by the way is one of my favourite things to watch, what is perhaps a skill that you bring into the circle to work against really tall defenders?
I guess I've been working on it my whole life. Like I've always been a shorter goalie, so I think that's what I've been working on. I sort of try and like make space for the other shooter if I can. I think Tanya's really good at that. She's got lots of knowledge that I can get off her, and now having Erin, I think that's really helpful as well. Lots of sweeping and baseline drives and things like that.
I know you love WA, but I do love watching you and Jay. You're doing it for the shorties. Obviously, Thunderbirds are looking stronger than ever. You are looking straight down the barrel of a three-peat, 3 premierships in a row. What is the key to Thunderbirds' success?
I think just going on from last year, people will like come hunting and know sort of I guess our weaknesses, So we need to like get new strengths, new tools in our toolkit. Thank you. Love all your TikToks, by the way. Love all your TikToks, by the way.
Oh no!
Oh, ouch.
Oh, just a dislocation, not broke.
That's good.
So how are you going to lead the team to a, sorry. Start again. Obviously Australians.
We can just have a chat.
Try again. Okay. So after Australia's recent Constellation Cup against New Zealand, our attacking end was a little bit stifled. So tell me how you're going to adapt to that defensive pressure.
We're obviously trying different combinations. We had a really great camp in January to get ready for the year, but I guess with Diamonds it's quite tricky. We don't see each other until after SSN season, so it's nice we've got, obviously shooting combinations throughout the comp who are practicing every single week, just to be able to have different variety in the way that we play, not becoming so predictable. I think it's always been a strength of ours, and it's definitely something Stacey will keep pushing. But obviously, New Zealand defenders are incredible. They're incredible athletes, so very tough to play against, but lots of confidence in what we can do. And like I said, it's going to be a while till we see each other, so hopefully when we get together we can just pick up straight back up.
After a decade at the Vixens, we saw a shock change for you, and obviously you went to Lightning last year. Can you tell me a little bit about the challenges and the rewards for you so far?
Yeah, it's been really, really nice. I mean, obviously I absolutely love the Vixens. They've been not just my home for 10 years, but all my juniors were through Netball Victoria. I was part of the, Netball Victoria pathway from when I was little. So definitely a big decision to move, but I've really, really loved my time so far in the Lightning. And the Vixens girls are still some of my best friends, and we catch up all the time. It's great, I can see them every day here. It's been really nice, the coaching staff, the support staff. It felt like it was, ended on really good terms, and I'm really got so much respect for them. So the Lightning's been incredible. The girls are great. The environment's awesome, and I guess, we're chasing success this season, and hopefully we can get into the finals and go all the way. But it's an extremely tough competition, and I know everyone is wanting to do the same. But it's been very, very rewarding so far.
I have loved seeing you in Lightning, to be completely honest, because you and Steph are my favourite players. So it was pretty much all my Christmases coming at once. Yeah, last question for you. As a leader, how do you juggle the pressure of keeping all of the Australian titles as well as welcoming and creating chemistry with the new players?
Yeah, it's something that I'm very, take very seriously and really passionate about, is that we want to create an environment that's people feel really comfortable and they can thrive. I guess the Diamonds environment, you're playing for your country, so of course it's going to be elite, of course it's going to be stressful, of course it's going to be highs and lows. But if the environment's somewhere you want to be and you're enjoying it, that's probably the biggest thing that I always take away, is I want to create somewhere people love, the girls love it, everyone's just playing their best. So I feel like I've got an incredible group of girls, and that doesn't, without sounding too cliche, it really is an incredible team, incredible squad. Everyone really wants the best for the country, and very disappointed with the last series, and really, really hungry to get better, which is awesome. So I love it. I love that I get to do this. It definitely doesn't feel like, work or anything. It's such a privilege. It's an honour. It really is the best thing I can do. So I'm very lucky in my role. I know that I've got the backing of the whole leadership group, but then the whole squad. It's pretty special.
It's just a little hiccup in the road after, let's be honest, a pretty superb run that you guys had. So I feel like sometimes when there's a bump in the road, it just helps you reevaluate and appreciate even more like how amazing you guys actually did.
Yeah, it is. And international netball is the tightest that it's ever been, and obviously we're seeing incredible athletes in our competition getting so much better, going back to their countries, making their team so much stronger as well. So we know that it's going to be that 0.2%, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it's something so small that I guess can, from number 1 to 6, it's very, very tight. So you're not going to be, winning every single game as much as we want to. There's always going to be challenges. So we're lucky that we've got an incredible group. We play play in the best comp in the world. So we're getting prepared every single week, big crowds, close matches. You know, we're exposed to it all the time, which is incredible. So we're very lucky.
And now the UK and New Zealand are implementing their 2-point shot. So I'm assuming that's going to mean their shooters at international level are going to be an even bigger challenge for you guys. Have you talked about how you might deal with that?
No, not really, not yet. It's incredible. I think New Zealand shooters naturally do have a bit of range. If you think of someone like Amelia, she's an incredible long range shooter too. So without their 2-point shot, they're still probably producing those longer shots. But it is probably going to be, you know, obviously upskill there and going to bring that to international level. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, so I hope that rule doesn't come into international series. I love the traditional netball, but we'll see. It's obviously the crowd loves it. It's lots of fun, and I'm really happy not to be a shooter in those situations.
Thank you so much for talking with us. I'm a big fan, obviously, and congratulations again on the win and on your engagement.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.